What is up, my lovely people in BluCranium land? So in today's video, I would like to draw you guys a skeleton in a light bulb. So the inspiration behind creating this piece was based on some sort of a curio artifact, or not artifact, but something that I'd seen, or I have seen many times over the years. And it's one of those, what do you call it, those pirate ships, or kind of like those really cool looking ships built inside a glass bottle. So that's what I was trying to mimic or explore when I did this creation or this illustration. So with that being said, as I started doing the line art, or not the line art, but the actual rough drawing, I kind of wanted to give the skull kind of like a desert theme. And as you'll see as it progresses, Arizona is one state in the United States that has always been kind of like a really cool place for me to visit through while I was in trucking. Because I don't know if that's something that I mentioned in earlier videos, but I used to be an over-the-road truck driver for Schneider. So the first time we ever got a load for Schneider and went through Arizona, and I seen these cool looking cactuses for the very first time. It was unique in the aspect that I'd only seen them as like little cartoon figures in cartoons, but seeing them actually live now in person, well, not really in person, live, but kind of like when I pulled off at a rest area, it was kind of nice to actually see them for the very first time. I know I'm a little weird that way, but cactuses was something that I was excited to see. And then what I was gonna say is, the rest area that I had originally stopped at for the very first time in Arizona had this beautiful, nice southwest look to it. I mean, it had like this nice stone everywhere, and had this kind of like almost like a red mud kind of sand. So that was something unique to see, staying in Ohio and looking at all the snow and then the leaves of fall. So as I progressed and I started to do the line art, I wanted to give the skull a more of a textured look, because of the fact that since it's in the desert, I figured that, the skull is worn down over a period of time, and I wanted to have that nice look to it. And as in this part you can see is like what I did in the last video. I wanted to give the skull that nice night star or star night or night sky look in this, and I kind of really liked how the last one came out, so I wanted to put it into this piece as well. And this happened when I used to usually take my 30 minutes breaks when I was driving. I would always end up stopping at a rest area and just looking up the night sky, because I used to do night driving. So seeing all the different night skies over the years, like, sometimes right when it was getting close to dark, and then it was like, sunsets, which is beautiful in the southwest. So this whole piece has pretty much just got the southwest vibe to it, but more in particular Arizona. But yeah, trucking, that's something that I don't know if later down the line, if I'm destined to get back into it, or I don't know if even if I don't get back into it, I think I'll be totally fine if I just got the option to just vlog and drive and just make videos on driving, I mean, yes, this art channel is fun to create and I love sharing my art with you guys. So this thing, what I talk about in trucking is let's get my thoughts here, is the traveling aspect of trucking is always something that I really enjoyed. It's just especially going to all the different states and looking at all the sites and all that was always fun. It's not something that you can do at a regular job, because when you have like your 9 to 5, your 8 to 4, you're going to meet certain people, and then there are some people you just don't like meeting. But with trucking, it was cool because you always got to go to different states. I mean, I think in my first time out as a team driver, I think I visited 6 states in the 3 weeks that I was out. I mean, it started off in Ohio, and then from Ohio we went to Indiana to Tennessee, all the way to the northwest to Washington State. And then the first time we ever got to go to Arizona was when I was in Laredo, Texas. And it was a huge moment for me, because I was like, man, I finally get to go to Arizona. That's one of the states, like as I said, I always wanted to see. And the best part about it is when I got the opportunity to actually enter the state for the very first time, it was kind of like, in the early morning hours, and like, the night was just kind of like getting done. So it was beautiful to see the sky change from like, the dark, and then it slowly went into like a darkish blue, and then a lightish blue. And I remember, yes, I was driving out of California. So yeah, I mean, those are the memories that I'll keep with me forever. I mean, but when I talk about trucking, it's always been really good memories. And after I got done with it back in 2018, I was not really sure what I would do with my time in the aspect of, because trucking is all I knew at the time. So when I moved overseas and decided to start a new career back up again, it was just, it was difficult, because trucking is not the same back over here like it is in the United States and Canada. But anyway, I think we're on a tangent and talking more about trucking. But as you can see, as I progress, I wanted to give these nice scratchy kind of lines to the screw part of the bulb. So it kind of looks like, other than just having the skull in it, I mean, it looks like, this bulb has been lighting up the night skies or the room of an apartment for a very long time. So that's what are the textures, and when you give this different line weight. And then for the colors, since I was drawing it on a white background, I switched on the color to this darkish kind of a blue. So that way when I did do the colors, like I chose the glow part of the bulb to look like kind of like the sun, and then the bottom would be like the sand in Arizona. And then I gave these little rock textures or pieces of rock that I'd seen at that service plaza. So I kind of wanted to tie that into this. And what else? For this part, the nose and the eyes, I just erased the black section, or the darkish blue section, because it's not black, and then just started tapping the yellow color of the sun to make it look like, it's the stars shining in the night sky. And then obviously I put in this green cactus, which is, as I said earlier on, another thing I was just excited to see such a huge cactus for the very first time. My uncle and aunt, when I was back in Kuwait, I think if I'm not mistaken, used to have a cactus plant, and seeing something like this so big for the very first time was just amazing. Because as I said earlier on, I never thought I'd actually get to see one of these. It was always on TV or on in books and all that. But and I think another cool thing was when we used to watch documentaries on the Discovery Channel. I remember there was one where they were talking about UFOs, and I'm trying to remember what the documentary was, but they said unidentified flying objects in the Arizona, Utah area, kind of like, which is the big mystery of the world, which is this place called Area 51. And then I know this is kind of going all over the place, but being in Arizona, and every time I used to stop by and take my break, I used to always look up at the night sky and always wonder, I'm like, I wonder if UFOs really do exist. And it's cool to see all those different documentaries that they show on TV about UFOs and aliens and all that. I've always been intrigued by those things. And I know Arizona and New Mexico are states that are close to each other in landmass. So I mean, you always hear about these stories. In fact, my wife's cousin brother, when he had come to visit us from, I think he's based in Nevada, and he was talking about this incident where once he and his friends were going on a highway, and I think they got lost somewhere, and then quite in the middle of when they were trying to find their way back, they were escorted out by these armed guards, which was, he thought, really odd, because these guys just showed up in the middle of, like, they were just stationed out in the middle of nowhere. So who knows, maybe Area 51 is real, and maybe it's not called Area 51, that's just like the, what do you call it, like the, what is this thing? What is that term they say when you use a fake alias, I think, as opposed to the actual name? I mean, I'm sure it's something government related, so obviously it has to be kept under wraps. But yeah, so when I was drawing this piece, again, as I said, I wanted to keep Arizona's vibe going through this piece, and then for the glasses or the sunglasses, I wanted to give it that nice bright blue, so that would kind of show off, like, the sky that turns to like from a dark black or a black to like a darkish blue, and vice versa when the sun sets. But yeah, these illustrations and creating these is always fun to draw in the aspect of, because I get to tell you all these different stories that I've accumulated over the years. I mean, it's not just about the art, I mean, it's also about trucking, it's about travel, because my final goal, and I don't know if I probably said this in other videos, is I would really love the option to be able to travel and see different places, and it would be nice to know, to be able to create some sort of a livable income with my art, maybe through these YouTube videos. I mean, and maybe somebody's inspired out there to draw. And I know at this channel it's all about the skeleton art, and that's just my thing, I mean, that's just something I love drawing. And I know sometimes in the videos, I mean, I kind of sound, when I listen to my videos, I kind of sound bored talking, I don't know why, but I really do enjoy drawing my skeleton art, and telling my story as to what is the reason why I love creating this art. And hopefully somebody out there also has fun creating the art they do, and is able to make a living out of it, which is something really unique that a very few get to say that they can actually do. Like when I talk about art and following some of my favorite artists, which is 1000, David Lozo, and a few of them others, it's so cool to see that there are live people that are living and breathing, that are actually selling their art and making a good, decent income to take care of their families. So that's the main goal with this, and hopefully I'm able to achieve that. But if it does not, I mean, I'm not going to quit creating the skeleton art, because it just makes me happy. And at the end of the day, when I make this art, I'm not creating for anybody, I'm just creating for myself. I enjoy it, so I'm going to keep creating it. And it doesn't matter whether this channel blows up or gets more subscribers or views. I mean, all I'm doing is I'm trying to share my art. And if I'd be lying if I said that I didn't want to get monetized. I mean, it would be nice, because for the time these videos take to make, it would be kind of cool to have something come back in return, So here you can see that I finally gave the skull like a nice textured look, and then for the top part of the bulb I gave, like, the nice shiny sun and like the glowing look of the sun, and then at the bottom I gave it like the desert kind of like stone kind of look, and then you have the tungsten wire that just kind of wrapped around. But all in all, this was a fun project, and I think it took me like maybe a day and a half, and the plan was actually to have it ready and to go on Friday night, but as usual my power went, so I had to reschedule it. So anyway, with that being said, guys, I hope you enjoyed this. And as always, keep creating, Keep trying. I'll see you down the road or on the other side. Bye for now.